Hey everyone, so in this video, we'll start SQL tutorial. So already I covered Python tutorials. You can go to my channel like Learn with Permas. You can see. So I covered all the topics related to basic Python. Okay, so I won't say you'll become a pro in Python if you watch these videos, but definitely you'll get some understanding what is Python and how to deal with Python. So in that way, you'll get some understanding and also you feel somewhat comfortable. Okay, so only you can become master when you solve problems, when you do some hands-on practice. For that you need some time, so you have to practice. That is the only way so to gain expertise in Python. So but I covered most of the topics which was mentioned in W3 schools. You can go there and you can search, and so it will give you some good understanding. So you feel somewhat you feel some I won't say like you feel some comfortable. Okay, so you won't feel like bad, or you won't feel discomfortable so after seeing the syntax or anything. So definitely you'll feel comfortable if you go through these tutorials. So let's start this. Actually I thought to cover this SQL, and why I'm covering SQL, because like if my target is to create a curated list on the data scientist role and AI and ML on these kind of a things. And so in order to become one good AI engineer or ML engineer or data scientist, so you have to be comfortable with pandas. And so because that is a primary package that they're expecting in the interview. So they'll give you scenario and you have to code it. Like you have to get the information based on that, based on the so using pandas module you have to use, and you have to extract that information. So how are you going to do that? So before going to pandas you have to be comfortable with SQL. So if you're comfortable with SQL, then you can able to deal with databases, and then you go to pandas means it will be much more easier. So that's why I thought to cover SQL first, and after that, and also it was expected in the interviews they're asking you to write the queries. So that's why I thought to cover SQL first. We'll go to double three schools. It covers everything. So you don't need to rely on some other materials. So you just go through each syntax is there, every syntax is there, and after that we'll run the query and we'll see the results. Then we'll look into the next things, like then we go for pandas module. So let's start this SQL tutorial. I'll try to cover this entire tutorial, and after that, I'll try to solve the lead code problems also. I solved some lead code problems. So then in that way, so you to so you get some clarity. So what we are going to do, what we have to learn, and so just going through these tutorials, it won't help you how to solve the real problems, right? So if you solve lead code problems, then you know then you will get the understanding what kind of questions you're going to expect in the interviews. And if you solve lead code, then you will get some confidence. At the same time, if you appear for interviews, you can most of the questions are related to that level. So they won't ask the basic questions, and also they won't ask the high advanced level questions. They'll ask you medium level, like so which they're expecting from a data scientist role, that too based on experience to experience. So we'll solve lead code problems. There are 50 important lead code questions that are related to SQL. We'll solve that, and I'll try to cover the videos, and that's the target. So we'll cover this thing, and parallelly I'll try to cover lead code problems. I'll record those sessions and I'll post it in my channel. So just so if you feel it's useful, then please subscribe. Okay, let's jump into the tutorial. So why SQL needed? Because like before jumping to SQL, so earlier we have this storage. Like you want to get some information, you want to retrieve the information. How are you going to retrieve that? You can't store the data in Microsoft Word, right? So you can't do that, because you need to get the response in a faster way, in a reliable way. So sometimes, and also you can't give that entire data to everyone, right? So if you create a Microsoft Word, if you store the content in that, so in order to extract the information, it will be very tough, very difficult, because you have to study everything. Or if you store the things on a written file, you have to go through it. So if you want to digitalize, then SQL is one of the way. So you can store the information in a table format, like see Zomato or Swiggy. So whatever platforms you have, so or Microsoft, or okay, forget about Microsoft. Then Meta, so Facebook is there. So like they're creating some user database, right? So in order to get some information, how are they going to do? They store your records in their database, and whenever they want to retrieve some information, let's take Amazon. So you're buying, big billion days are coming. So I mean, I'm just giving some example. So you want to order something, how these things will happen? You click that order, how it going to placed? So obviously, right, so they have to maintain all these things in a efficient way, otherwise it won't happen. So for that purpose, you need some reliable system, reliable source. That source is nothing but an SQL. So I mean, there are many other tools also there, like NoSQL also there. um, so SQL. So first we'll learn SQL, then we'll go for SQL is also not SQL. So first we'll learn this, and after that we'll go for the next things. Ultimately, like it is very useful. Okay, so a very useful tool, and I won't say tool. It's a structured query language. It's a language to retrieve the information, to deal with databases, and it's very very useful. So if you want to become a data scientist, if you want to become a data analyst, if you want to read SD, so whatever it might be, so this is the one of the most important thing. You have to be comfortable and you have to be strong in that. So so let's go through this, and after that we'll cover the rest of the things in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so SQL is a structured query language. So it is majorly used for storing the data, manipulating the data, retrieving the data. So there are many other types of SQL there. MySQL is there, Oracle is there, Sybase is there, Postgres is there, Postgres SQL is also there. It's like types. Okay, so let's say uh, e-commerce platform, and there are multiple e-commerce websites, right? So like Flipkart is there, Amazon is there, Mintra is there. Those are the e-commerce platforms. In the same way, SQL is something, and you have different uh, people, right, or participants, right? In the same way, SQL is there. SQL is considered SQL as a e-commerce site, e-commerce category, and these are the entities, like entities in the sense these are the players. Like MySQL is there, like Mintra, like Flipkart, like how you have Amazon. In the same way, MySQL, Postgres, Oracle. So these are the different things. Okay, so then we'll jump into this. Majorly we store the data in the form of tables. Okay, so ultimately our target is to extract the information. Already some information is there. How efficiently we're going to extract that information, how logically we're going to extract that information with simple queries, with a minimal number of queries. So this is nothing but a query. So you already have one customer table, and how you going to extract that information? Let's click on try it ourselves, then we'll get to know. So we have to give the statement like this. We have to click on run SQL. See, here I'm showing you to how to deal with the things. Later what you have to do is you have to install MySQL in your system, and after that you have to do the steps. You have to create your own base. You have to so you have to create your own table. You have to extract that information. Ultimately our agenda is to focus on data science and these roles. So majorly you won't create all these things. You have a CSV file, or you have a um, you have a CSV file. So you'll get the data. Okay, so you'll get the data. You have to read that using pandas module, and after that there are other tools. So that's why I'm not creating any database, and I'm doing that step. So that's why I'm following the W3 tutorials. So just you need to understand. Okay, uh, so it was taking too long. Okay, fine. So it won't be any issue. Let's see the next things. Once we got the response, we'll see. So ultimately what it was doing is like you can just click on like this, like in order to extract the information, complete information. The query is like select this symbol is known as asterisk. Asterisk is nothing but the star symbol from customers is the table name. So these are the letters they're written in a capital words. Those are the keywords in SQL. So you can do these things in small letters also. It won't be any issue, but it's a best practice if you deal with the capital letters, so that it you indicating someone is reading your query. So that like your colleagues or your peers are just enter here, and after that just reading the query, so they'll get to know like, okay, so this is a keyword. Okay, so from the customer table they're extracting information. In that way they can get some sense. So that's why so I just written in this way. Okay, so this is the way you can do this, and you can do this uh, practice and everything. So we'll go to next intro. We'll go to this intro. So it's one of the most useful one, easy one. So we'll cover these things like what is the syntax, how to use the select, and how to use the select clause and where clause, and how to use this order by. So we'll cover all this. We'll cover all these things. See. So SQL is nothing but a structured query language, and it was used to manipulate database. Um, then after that, SQL become this as is this one is not required. So ultimately, what SQL will do? SQL is like will execute queries. It will extract the information. It will help you to create the database, like insert the records in the database, and it will create new databases, new tables, and you have to store the data tables in databases, right? So for that, you it will be helpful. So it will be helpful for in a security way also. So if you store the information in any other formats like in files, someone can steal your information. So but if you store the content in database, so without any access, they can't they can't steal the information, so store the information. So for that purpose we use SQL. So yeah, SQL is nothing but it's a standard query language, and these are the uh, commands, basic useful commands, which was executed in across all the criteria. Like how we have Mintra, Amazon, Flipkart. In the same way, these commands will be common in MySQL, Postgres, and other SQLs. Okay, so that's a statement. And RDBMS is relational database management system, and these are the MySQL, and so these are the common databases which are comes under relational database. And so we'll see. So in this way, you can access the content. So just run this thing. See, this is the way you can just I given this query, I just click on run, and I got the information like this. So customer ID is there, customer name, these are the entities or nothing but columns. Okay, you can consider if you're dealing with Excel, you have the column names, right? In the same way, you have it is a table and it has the column names, and each one is known as a record. Okay, so it has 91 observations, or you can say records. Okay, so this entire thing is one record, and the next thing is another record. In that way, this is a table. It has 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 columns or 7 categories, like customer ID, customer name. These are the categories or entities, and each one, and it has a 91 observations. Okay, 91 rows, or you can say 91 observations. So this is the way you have to so deal with SQL. These are the terminologies, you can say. Okay, so I already covered this statement. So a customer is a table name. If you want to extract the information from that, if you want to retrieve the data from that customer table, so this is the command. Okay, select asterisk from customers, you will get the information. And so this is the customer table. Just covering the five observations, but I already covered this here. The total number of observations present in the table was 91. Okay, so in case if you want to see the content from other table, what you can do here in the right hand side, you can see they are already given. So let's take these categories. So I just need to give the i want to I want to observe what are the records which are present in this categories table. So I have to give the statement like this: select all uh, from this. I have to click on run SQL. So that's it. So it has 8 records, and 3 columns: category ID, category name, and description. So that's it. This is the way you can access the data. Okay, fine. Okay, then the table you can access like this, and it has this many records and or observations, you can say, and columns. So they given the basic terminology. Okay, so it's not case sensitive, I already discussed. If you give it in the statement in capitals or small, it's your choice, but the preferable way is capital, so that others will understand. Okay, it's a keyword in that way, but it's up to you. You can use the small words also. So you have to end some of the SQL, like MySQL or Postgres, or in case of MySQL, so you have to end the statement with end the query with semicolon. Okay, you can see here I end this thing with a semicolon. If I want end the statement with this, it will give an error. It's like a syntax. okay, that you have to follow in SQL. So these are the most important SQL commands are like select, update, delete, insert, create database, alter, create table. So you can read this information. Okay, so to extract the data from the database, we have to use one command which is known as select, that we used in this example. Okay, so yeah, then in this way we have to use, guys, like I'll cover all the commands. Okay, what are the major commands, and after that I'll try to solve the lead code problems also in SQL, so that we'll understand in a better way. Suppose I don't want that entire columns, I only want few columns in that table. Then how I can access this is the syntax. You have to use select and you have to specify which columns you want and from which table. So remember in this way, so ultimately your task using SQL is to extract the information, that's it. So that is damn sure one. Whatever statements you use in the middle, it's your choice, your logical thinking. And remember, so you have to figure out from which table I have to extract the information. And if you have the data, what command I have to use, whether I have to use select or whether I have to use particular column, or I have to use any particular different distinct columns, or that is your choice. Okay, that you have to use. So apart from that, everything is simple. Okay, so you have to frame the content in such a frame your logic in such a way to extract the information. That is your end goal, so using SQL. So that's it. We have these are like tools, these are like you know weapons. You have to use all these weapons to hit the target. Okay, so in the same way, these are like weapons. You have to use all these things to extract the information. So that's it. So we'll see this example. So for what it was doing is like you have a database name which is known as customer. From that customer, you have to extract this information, this column data. So we'll see. So we already seen one example, select asterisk from customer table. So then it given all the so all the columns data. So now what I want is like I only want customer name and city. I don't want other things. Then this is the way you have to give. So you have to give this and give this. So okay, in the syntax, this apart from this the entire thing is same. So select asterisk from customers we given, so that you'll get all the columns. But if you want only specific columns, then this is the way you have to give, select customer name and city, so that you will get this information. Okay, done. So yeah, we'll go to next. This is the way to get all this, and just try this example. Okay, so just see what happens, just try this exercise. So now I'm trying to cover all the things. So distinct means you will get, see, there are countries in the in this customer table. There are customers who belongs to the same country, right? Or they belongs to same area, same location, same nationality. Then how you are going to understand? I want to know what are the different countries which are present in this table. So I don't want the common. So if I give the column name from that particular table, so I'll get duplicate values also. Now duplicate values in the sense some like different peoples belongs to same country, I'll get those information also. But I don't want, I just want to see how many different countries are there in this particular table. Then how I can use, how can I access? Or this might be different, I mean you can apply this logic in different tables also. Respective belongs, I mean it depends on your column name or category. Okay, so in this case, in this example, what you're doing is like you want to get the different countries which are present in this table. Then how I'm going to extract this? This is the way, using this distinct keyword. So first I'll remove this distinct, and I'll see, I'll run this query. See, there are 91 countries. Mexico, duplicate values are there. So now I want to know, if I use this keyword as distinct, and if you run this query, then you'll get to know what are the different countries which are present in this entire. See, 21 only out of 99, only 21 countries are unique. Like rest of the things are duplicate in the sense the people, the customers are belongs to same country. Multiple customers are belongs to one country, right? That is possible. So that's what they are saying. Okay, so but if you want to know, so out of my entire database, uh, what are the unique countries, like what are the countries all my customers belongs to. Then in that case you have to do like this, distinct countries. Okay, so in this entire customer table, all my customers are belongs to these countries only, like 21 countries. So earlier, you if you won't use this distinct keyword, you'll get the country as like 91. So that is not the right one, right? There is a duplicate values also there. That means the same, like multiple customers belongs to same country. That is possible. If you want to know what is the, like, I want to know, like, out of my entire database, I want to know all my customer belongs to how many countries. Then this is the way you have to. This is the way to figure out. Okay. Yeah. This is the importance of this distinct keyword. Okay, so I already covered this example without this. And if you want to know, um, like the number actually, so if instead of the values you want to know number, this is the command you can use, or this is the command you can use. Okay, it will give you 21, right? So the same way, without giving the data, you'll get the value. So so this is like condition. Okay, so where class is nothing but a condition. uh, Okay, let's do one thing. I'll cover this where class in the next session. So this is a I'll keep it as a intro session. So we'll cover this where and these examples in the next tutorials. Uh, so ultimately today we discussed about what is SQL and what is the introduction of this SQL and what is a select and how to deal with select. And so in this way we covered, and we'll cover these next things in the next sessions. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.